Hello, welcome to another Parkinson's Walk vlog. If you've tuned in to watch the film on Raglan Castle, jump forward about 20 minutes and it's there for you on the end of the vlog. If you'd like to sit and listen to our Parkinson's Walks family, or in fact join the Parkinson's Walks family, do feel free, not a problem. Right, the first film that we're going to comment on was the one that went out a fortnight ago, which was the Momsy Railway Walk, taken from a railway book. Not much railway unfortunately, but there you go. Lionel and Mary travels. Lionel's been out getting some films going as well. I don't know if you're keeping up with him. Some good stuff. He says, nice to see you trotting across the field and along leafy lanes once again. Yeah, I haven't done that for a while. It's fortunate that you found the old station house. It's also nice that the owners retained the name. Otherwise that piece of history would be lost forever. Isn't that true? There's no sign of the railway, so without them naming it Station House, well, just be another house, so yeah, that's brilliant. Well done. Now, Harry C, who is fairly new to us, I think. Well, Barry joined the family. But he gives us some information on, some very good information on that branch line. He says, before or during the Second World War, the Malvern branch line was used to ship large and new radar stations, which were manufactured at the secondary factory just outside Malmesbury. So, it's sobering to know, he says, that this disused branch played an important role, as there would be no other way to move these large and heavy systems given the narrow roads. Look at that. So that long forgotten branch line played a part in the Second World War. Nobody knows anything about it. Well done, Barry, thanks for that. Very good of you. Trev. Trev's our intrepid pilot. He's gathering his friends ready. Oh well. He says, good evening Ron, thank you for today's vlog and film. I'm just about to pack and go off for a break for a few days in Lancashire. That's bound to make it rain. Oh, don't you start, Trev. Enough trouble with Simon. So you say, just a quick pop in to say hello today. Thank you, Trev. Thanks for going to the trouble. Keep us in touch. Marilyn. Marilyn. In a moment of madness, a week or so ago, I thought that in the Parkinson's Walk virtual family, which you're a part of if you contribute in any way, I did suggest that Marilyn practice the older sister in the virtual family. It says, thanks to that, it just added on another 10 years. Sorry, Marilyn, it's a moment of madness. Anyway, Marilyn keeps up to date with her travels, and she ventured down to Cheltenham last Friday to meet my lovely knitters group. Oh, we're lovely. Wonderful trip down on cross country, perfectly on time all the way. Going back was slightly different. When the board says the train is delayed, it means they don't know what the problem is, and it's always bad news. Just over a 2-hour wait for the train back, and guess what? Water got into the cabling and turned every signal between Bristol and Cheltenham to red. Oh dear. It caused chaos in both directions, with all the trains having to progress really slowly. I finally got on the cross country back to Macclesfield, only for them to announce it was terminating in the worst possible place, Birmingham New Street. The connecting train arrived 40 minutes later. I was so cold, not to mention tired and a bit fed up. I certainly felt like the older sister. Thanks Marilyn, that's lovely. Simon, the hairy golfer. Yes, the resident rain god. Wherever Simon goes, the rains arrive. He said, I would like to deny all responsibility for the floods in Dubai. I wasn't there. You got proof. He said, however, this summer my entire family is going to Tenby. There will be 10 of us and 3 dogs. With that many of us in one place, the chances of the coastline being washed away in biblical floods are quite high. You have been warned, stay away from Tenby in August. Yes, I think that's good advice, Simon, good advice. Michael. Yeah, Michael from Poland. Michael, one of our founder members. Brilliant. Perhaps you're the older brother, Michael. No? Could be. He says, greetings from Poland. Back home now, recuperating following the removal of my left kidney. I mean, you're back home already. They've kept you in hospital for weeks, some years ago. He said, I really enjoyed today's vlog, hearing from fellow family members from around the world. Yeah, we are from around the world, but some of us live just down the road, so feel free to join in if you want to. The music accompanying the walk today was written by a son of Warsaw, Frederick Chopin. There is a superb walk around the city, following his life story. Marble seats have been erected at specific points, and when you sit on them, Chopin's music plays. Oh, great. His heart is to be found in the Church of the Holy Cross. He said it was a lovely walk, gorgeous countryside, but not much railway. No, that's very true. Very little railway, in fact. David hails from Spain. He says, what else can you say but spring has arrived? Yes, that's me on the outside again. Brilliant. Great to see you out in the garden. I agree with Simon. David says, I find it uncommonly cold back in the UK. My 2 recent trips back. Uriah couldn't come on the second trip, but she told me it was equally cold and wet down here, with more snowfall too. That's in Spain. I think David lives quite high up. So it must be getting to snow. Wow. Right, Jim Nichols. Jim, from New Zealand. Willows equal water equals great thinking there, Detective Ron. The river looked delightful. Not much railway as you said, but the peacock provided added interest. And the way it was displaying, I think it rather fancied you. Yeah, lucky to catch that one displaying. Right, now let's move on to last week's film, which was a Cotswold walk on part of the Cotswold Way, and it was, well, shall we say slightly damp here and there. Right. As a hiker, backpacker, wild camper, etc., Trev does all that. Brilliant. I've got used to the British weather and all it brings over the years, and just carry clothing and equipment to deal with the rain. Sorry, showers. Yes, the forecast was for showers. As you see if you watch the film, it's a little bit more than showers, I fancy. It's not the most pleasant to walk in, but neither is boiling hot temperatures with not a cloud in the sky, and with up to 15 kilograms on my back. I can easily lose the will to live. Well, I bet you can, Trev. Anyway, enjoy your hiking. David again from Spain then, talking about this walk. He said the walk through the park was excellent. Those trees were just magnificent. Right, well this is take 2. Shortly after this point on the take 1, the lawnmowers came out, so we had to abandon. Right, David from Spain then, let's carry on with David, who said the walk through the park was excellent. Those trees were just magnificent, and it shows what they can grow to given the space to do so. There was a magnificent spread on some of those trees, wasn't it? David was also impressed with the newly planted driveway, who says it'll really look great after we've all gone. Yeah. He enjoys seeing the pump work, the pipe pump work, that's the way. Pump pipe work. Right. He enjoyed seeing the pump pipe work pulsating away in the bushes. He said, I think it might be a Blake's hydro ram, as Peter's already pointed out. I've only ever seen them in pictures and on their website. Great to see one in the bush, so to speak. There's a chap who goes out all over the country searching out these pieces of engineering. Forgotten Pumps is his name, so if you go on YouTube, I guess, David, and put in Forgotten Pumps, you get to see a few more of these pumps in action. That's good. Malcolm Richardson. He says, the suspense of being chased up a steep incline by those menacing clouds, I suppose, was preferable to being chased by the bull. Too true. Yes, he says, but eating lunch standing up in the pouring rain is, in my experience, enough to sap the will to live. Yes, I know where you're coming from, Malcolm, I really do. Engage on a shelf. Simon, covering himself again here. So Simon has two channels, one for his golfing, which is a hairy golfer, and then engage on a shelf, which is engage on a shelf, as you might expect. He says, good morning, Ron. You can't blame me for the rain this time, and I wasn't there. Where's your proof, Simon? That's what I want to know. He said, but the sound of rain on leaves is very familiar to me. I bet it is. Abandoned railways, our Ron. He's waited all winter for filming weather. Now we've got some filming weather, he's gone and put his back out. Ron. Oh dear. Shouldn't laugh, really. He said, I probably won't be sharing this one with the wife. Our company did this walk for charity one foggy November morning. Wood Stanton by road, then across the escarpment to Broadway and up to Broadway Tower and across the top before dropping down into Chipping Camden to finish. In the process she lost 2 toenails and ended up with a bad back. Oh dear. Probably best not to mention that then, Ron. Keep that one quiet. Right. Lionel and Mary Travels. Oh, Lionel's pumping out those films. Good old Lionel. He said, did you do that walk for the benefit of Mary? All she kept saying was, oh, I used to cycle along there. And oh, I knew a chap who played cricket there. I can't say that the walk was enjoyable for you, but we thoroughly enjoyed it. Well done, good. That pump was interesting too. A lot of people interested in that pump. Yeah. It actually drives a fountain down at the Stanway House. It's rather good. Ah, right. Michael from Poland. Michael says, greetings from a warm, sunny, dry Poland. What a lovely video. Filmed in quite difficult conditions. The shower, in brackets, short period of rain, yeah, turned into a downpour. The climb up the escarpment took my breath away, and I'm only sat down watching you do it. Pete Payne. A nice walk despite the rain, which, to be fair, did add to the atmosphere. The pump was interesting, he says. There was one in Cornwall that supplied the farm where Dad worked. It was a Blake's Hydram. Seems they have been made for over 200 years and you can still buy them. Wow. Is that Victorian engineering or is that Victorian engineering? Amazing. West Country Wanderings. Paul. He's covering anything of interest in the West Country, Paul. So if you're going to visit anywhere in the West Country, check his channel first. Chances are you'll get a film with some good information. And he says that was quite a climb up the escarpment there. I remember doing a section of that when I was doing the Cotswold Way. Even doing the Cotswold Way. Well done, Paul. Charles Patterson, USA. He said, good on you for pushing through the rain and taking in the sights. The only time I recall hiking in the rain was back when I was a young man in the armed forces. A young man in the armed forces. I'm guessing that was a few years ago, Charles. And I think the appropriate word to describe each occurrence was slogging. I don't think my mind was so much on taking in the wonderful sights, no, I bet, but on finding a dry area so I could change my socks. Nothing worse than soaking wet socks on a walk. Oh. Jim Nichols from New Zealand says, if that was a shower, Ron, you're lucky it didn't actually rain. That's too true. Grumpy old man, Jim, from Tennessee. I did enjoy the visit to the pump, and I appreciate your willingness to get wet. I'm not saying I was willing, Jim, but while you're there, you might just as well. It sounds like we got Trev coming over again. Jim says, I think if you had my silvery hair and I had your pleasurable personality, we could both go places. Where'd you have in mind, Jim? Wonderful. Right. Well, Jim winds that to a halt then. Looks like we've made it this time. Now, the film club this week is Raglan Castle. Well, it's pretty near to where Trev resides, I think. So rather than coming over here and annoying us, we'll go over there and annoy him. Good old Fred. Right, now, Raglan Castle it is then. That'll be coming up in a few seconds time. And then next week we're going to start investigating the Severn Valley Railway. And we're going to take stations one at a time. So we start next week at Arley. So I'll see you there next Friday. Don't be late. Raglan Castle, a late Norman castle. So you won't get any Motte and Bailey here. Principal works carried out by William Herbert. Can you imagine what this might have been like in days of yore? There might well have been tents or something just there on that green. You might even have had jousting in here. That's where the nobility would have sat.